Hey guys! Sorry, just doing some live shopping paperwork over here. How's everybody doing on this beautiful Friday? It's actually quite lovely outside today.
It is.
Yeah, it's a little dreary, but not so shabby. So that's been really lovely for mid-December. I found Spencer here.
You did.
Because Denny, whenever he made the original videos for our shoulder holster pattern pack, he neglected to make the mag case on video for you guys.
Yep.
So Spencer, by chance, was working on one. Was it like last week or something?
Yeah.
And Isaac was like, hey, I think Spencer was working on one of those. And I was like, okay, that's cool. Hey, Isaac, can you go talk to him about doing a video on Friday, since Denny is MIA at the moment with his shoulder surgery. Shoulder, holster, shoulders. Like, we're just full of shoulders.
Yeah.
Just chucking people around in here. All right, so I got Spencer. He's going to show you how to make this mag case. It is from our shoulder holster pattern, which is item number 144-10050. If you are interested, we did the video. It's been several months ago, maybe even last year. I don't remember when we did this video, but you can find the remainder of the construction back there. This is just for the mag case.
Yep.
So, All right, Spencer, take it away.
All right. So, I already got the pattern all cut out here. But we have two variants of this. We have the double stack mag and the single stack mag. This is the double stack mag, 9mm double stack. So there's no particular reason why I'm making this one. But
are they similar like the same construction, just
same construction. There's different dimensions though to fit the different. They're different thicknesses and heights. So there's 4 or 5 pieces if you want to do the lined version. The lined version, it just lines the top of your flaps here. Yeah, it just lines this right here. It just lines that. It's really easy. You just glue it on and trim it before you sew around. It's that different. It's not that big a deal.
Pretty straightforward.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So I guess we'll get to cutting. I got 5/6 ounce Herman oak here, of course. Always Herman oak. You definitely want veg because it is wet molded, so you can't use a chromium tan. And then we'll just start cutting. It's all 5/6 ounce. Everything is 5/6 ounce.
If you were to line it, what would your lining be?
I'll probably do a 2/3 ounce. That's possible.
For sure.
Laser, go ahead. You keep doing.
Okay.
I got it.
Okay, let's go.
Yeah. Hey, Laser. So, Denny literally cut the head of the skiver off. I think Tony's actually going to go get it for us.
Oh, no.
No? Okay.
That's too much work.
Yeah, so he cut the head of it off and flipped it around and JB welded it back on to make it left-handed. So that's how he did it. He took it to some sort of chop saw, something or other. And I think maybe you have to cut it off far enough so where you have like a good, probably like 1/2 inch to JB weld. So you'll be shortening the tool a little bit, but that's what he did.
Yeah, it was a literal reconstruction of the tool.
Yeah. No, I feel like it'd be trying to use scissors. Scissors are a funny thing because I don't know when they invented left-handed scissors, but I feel like for a long time, just left-handed people have had to use right-handed scissors. And then when they did release the left-handed scissor, all the left-handed people can't use it because they don't know how to put pressure that way. Tony, do you use left-handed or right-handed scissors?
I use right-handed scissors.
Yeah.
My mom has a pair of left-handed scissors because she uses them, but they're impossible to use.
I feel like it's almost like riding a bike. So there's this video that I saw one time, since Spencer's just cutting, and that's super exciting.
Yep,
there was this video that I saw one time about learning how to ride a bike with the handlebars flipped to where when you steer it, it steers the opposite direction.
Mm-hmm.
And once your brain figures out how to do that, it can no longer ride the bicycle the correct way. And so it was a video. I think that it's the dude, his channel is Smarter Every Day on YouTube, and he is a literal rocket scientist. But he does all these fun little experiments. And so he taught himself, and I think he said he took it like 6 months for him to learn how to ride the bike the opposite direction. But then he tried to ride one with the handlebars going the right way, and he couldn't do it anymore. And I feel like the same thing happens with scissors in your mind because your hand doesn't know how to apply the correct pressure. Anyways, brains are funky things. Right? Because nobody would.
The wrong way, and then no one can steal it.
Yeah.
They can't hide.
You know what? I'm going to text Denny right now and see how he's doing. We'll see if I get an answer. Because he has not. He said he'll keep me updated, but he hasn't done that.
Sounds like Denny.
Okay, we'll see what we get, guys. I'll let you know. Dean, how you doing? It's nice to see ya. How's it going, Spence?
It's going. Yep, that's all of it.
All right.
Now we get to cutting. I'm just going to use a rotary knife. It's thin enough that you can use a rotary knife.
So you don't mark out your whole line. You just mark your corners.
Yeah, I just mark out the corners. Straight line, just use a ruler. It saves a lot of time. And the curved lines.
Look at that.
Yep.
It just corners it up.
And the inside corners, I just put a dot.
I see that.
So
Look at that.
makes it a little easier. Y'all can't see any
You
of this.
can't see any of it.
So,
But he
I mean,
only
it's
marked
all-
the corners.
Yeah.
And then the dots. I don't know if you can see.
There you go.
Yeah, so if it was a curvy line, or you can see here, he marked corner, and then a dot, and then another corner.
Yeah.
Or
And
here we
that's-
just have corners.
Yeah.
How fun is that? Cool. There you go. Cut away.
Andy showed me that one.
We don't give Andy credit for things in here.
No?
No, we just give him a hard time.
That's a different kind of round knife.
Rotary knife.
Yeah, it spins.
I'm not Denny. I don't have fancy tools.
Well, we're glad to have you back, Dean. It's been a uneventful several weeks with you being out of commission, so you'll have to liven it up for us a little bit. I can't see the Twitch chat. It's just
That's
a
bummer.
big white box.
Cool.
Cool. Super cool.
And then inside corners, like on, where's the camera? That one?
Mhm.
The inside corner. I'm just going to use a punch and punch out the inside corner. So,
Can you see it now?
He doesn't have any granite under there, so
no.
It'd take him a minute to get through.
bouncy. Makes a nice, clean inside corner.
Yeah, see, he scared her away.
Yeah, and then it goes. And then I know how to use a box knife for this stuff.
I use a box knife for most of my cutting.
Mm-hmm.
Still just a white box, dear. Anybody saying anything on Twitch? I got nothing. Oh. Hey, Tessa. You guys getting a bunch of snow up there yet? You snowed in?
Something tells me you are the last person that he would want to see after his surgery. And our
Isaac says not after the month I was gone.
Is it there now?
Nope. Dean, I don't know if that's your strong suit. And I say that with the most sarcasm I could possibly muster. So is there any tricks when you, I mean, we might get there, but any tricks you want to share with us now?
About cutting this?
Just about the assembly of this in general.
Not really. It's pretty straightforward.
Cool.
So the instructions are a little wonky, but we'll get to that. So we should probably rewrite those.
Does that help you?
Yeah, look at that.
I've moved it over differently.
Look, they got an inch of snow in Idaho just this morning.
We haven't got any snow yet.
No, we've barely gotten freezing weather.
On Monday, they were talking about like 6 inches this weekend, but they took that out quickly.
Yeah.
Because we're in the Ozarks.
Yeah.
I was going to say,
Because if you try to predict weather a week out, you're just wrong. It doesn't matter what it is.
Yeah. Cut this guy out. And these curvy lines I like to do with scissors. It's personal preference.
Good gracious, you got like 20 cutting tools for one thing.
It makes it easier, though. For me.
Garrett, where are you? Are you also in Idaho? I don't think you are. That doesn't ring correctly.
oh, wait, spin it.
Minnesota. Oh, so close enough.
Just gonna cut and gonna go over the scissors.
Razor Blades has flooding on the way.
We were just talking about razor blades on the last video, wondering where he was at.
So is that Australia? Right? Am I right?
How are you?
I think so. Razor Blades, am I right this time? That's terrifying. Please be safe. I'm making up sandbags. That's legit flooding. When you're prepping sandbags, that's like, the storm's coming. Yes. Okay, cool. Thanks, Tony. I appreciate your assistance there. Really cool of you. Okay.
You might need to stand on my stool.
I can't see him over all the leather. Hi. Are you pretty near a coast, I would assume, or you got a river close to you that's flooding?
He's a boater.
Oh, right. That's right. You still haven't made it up here to pick us up yet.
A chef.
My passport's ready. I'm ready to go. We're going to a wedding in January down in Texas, and I thought it was in the Houston area. And then they sent us the, like the little, everybody has a website for their wedding these days, and it was all cute. And I was like, he was like, oh, there's a hotel that you can stay at. And I was like, oh, that's okay. I just have a friend that we're going to stay at while we're down there in Houston. And he's like, well, it's like 5 hours away from Houston. And I was like, oh, okay. And so I looked, and then I texted him back, and I was like, might as well just got married in Mexico. It's literally like you just like keep going down the highway, and then you're in Mexico. So I told Chris, I was like, well, we'll make sure to take our passports and go party it up in Mexico for a little bit.
Maybe in part of the Texas, or the part of Mexico you don't want to go to.
I got Chris, guys. So it'll be fine.
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna mess with us.
Muslims don't stop guns. And
Don't they fight with knives down in Mexico?
Not when they're kidnapping.
I have my sailboat. It'll be okay. Are we almost there? Are we there?
Almost. I have one more.
All right.
Then we're there.
All right. Parts are cut. So
Parts
now we
are
have
cut.
4 parts.
4 parts.
And we're unlined.
Yep.
So not a 5th part to line it.
Mm-hmm.
And this is for the double stack mag.
Yep.
Cool.
So, and all my slot punches are marked with, that way, up. And you see, I marked my slots with dots. So
dotted slots.
See?
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Up here.
Yep,
dots.
up top. See? So I just line up my slot punch whenever we get to that.
Because you don't want to punch it out now because you're going through probably 2 pieces of leather.
Yeah, we'll go through. This will be
just
one. This will be one. These get glued together, and we'll do that as 2.
Got it. All right.
But first, on this guy here, pull out the pattern again. I'm going to stick that on here, and then this piece is our little divider bit that goes in between here. That little guy. That's this piece. So
he just kind of attaches to the front and then free floats?
Yeah, free floats in there.
Okay. Probably mold them up.
Yep. So I go in there and mark my front and the back of my line on my pattern. Pretty easy. On the back side, on the flesh side.
Okay.
And then I mark the center on this little guy. Which I guess I could just measure. But actually, yeah, that's right. Just like that. And then I don't glue this. I just eyeball it and hold it there. And actually...
Oh, Tony, we're going to go to the machine here in just a second.
Yep.
Okay.
Since you moved the camera.
You moved the camera.
I sure didn't.
So, you're going to make a line.
So you can see where you're sewing?
Yeah.
That's a good
line.
idea.
Always make a reference line.
I like how you jumped under the camera, Justin, but stood up in the middle of it. Did I?
Oh boy.
Need
some coffee.
As he chokes on his tongue.
On air. It's hard to swallow. Or breathe. Air is breathing. It is. Alright.
Are you going to sew it from the top or the bottom?
In the pattern, he sews it like this. You could sew it like this, but you can't see what you're doing on this side. Or, I was talking to Andy, you can also...
You can mark all the way through.
You could mark it all the way through, or you could sew it to the back piece.
Yeah.
So, it's just, you would have to measure it out and line it up on here. And that way you wouldn't see...
The stitch line.
The stitch line.
But it does kind of indicate that you have 2 things in there.
It does.
I don't know. It's fine.
It's whatever you want it to be.
Okay.
I'm going to sew it from the inside because it's easier.
Hey, Omar.
Just going to eyeball it. And then mosey on over here. Thank you.
You're the last person that needs a white phone case.
Yeah, it's got some smudges on it, some grease smudges. Something ain't right. It ain't stitching.
Cool.
Yeah. Very good. Belt's super loose.
I think they set you up, Spencer.
I think so, because I was just sewing on this. Yeah, that belt's super loose. Yay! It says like excessive.
Did this slip off? Is it supposed to go on the big one?
No, it doesn't have
Okay.
Oh, hang on.
Hold tight. Machine malfunction.
Yep.
Which is par for the course. Everybody that's got a sewing machine.
You have a plier?
No. I have a screwdriver.
That doesn't help me.
Okay. Jim!
Jim, where's Jim? Alright.
Okay, you do something else.
Okay. We can... No, we have to sew that first. We have to sew that. Yeah.
Can you burnish edges?
We can. We can
Okay.
burnish edges. Yeah. Let's do this. We'll do this guy. Top of our flappy deals. So I'm just gonna. I got a number 3 of our. What brand is our SLC bevelers?
Just the SLC PB, SLC Pro Beveler.
The Pro bevelers, yeah. Excellent bevelers. We're just gonna do a little beveler.
They have a nice big bag.
Andy's coming.
Andy coming? I just need a wrench.
Okay. Pliers.
Or pliers. Pliers or a wrench.
Okay.
They don't matter.
Why'd you break it?
I don't know. Felt like it. No, it just doesn't want to sell. Like
when you
if
push the
you
pedal.
push the pedal, it won't do anything.
Yes, you can.
Well, no, the motor will spin,
Yeah.
but the belt's
Oh.
the belt's
Okay.
slack. So you gotta tighten up that belt.
Must have jostled going over the threshold in here.
Well, the belts do stretch over time too.
I just sewed on it though. I just set the tension, but it's all good.
It's very loose.
It's very loose.
Let me go get.
I bet Ryan did that. He's the one who brought it in here.
Well, he left it outside the door.
Yeah. Unless you did it.
Totally did it. I love sabotaging my videos.
Yeah, totally. Burnishing, I just use water.
Okay.
So, just put a little water on your finger. And I burnish the edges.
Whenever you get there.
So,
Not an electricity problem. A tension problem.
belt is loose. So, let burnisher go.
And that's the same machine that I used on Wednesday. So it was fine then.
Yeah. The whole thing apart.
Yeah, it's a lean machine bag.
Do you need help, Andy? Okay.
Yeah,
I
it's
want to
moved
watch
like
this.
half an inch.
Yeah, we moved quite a bit.
Hey, Striker.
Of course, my smudgy fingers. Always.
A little bit up, but not down.
When all else fails, use a hammer.
Yeah, just
Use 2 hammers.
2 hammers. Use a hammer to smack a hammer.
I feel like we should be watching this machine repair. Got the head lean back. He's trying to push the flywheel down.
Well, that's where it was.
Okay.
Take it back.
Yeah, good bicep curl there, Andy. Ooh, there it
Is
is.
that better?
It's on there now.
Alright, should work. In theory. I got black smudges. It'll be fine.
Put the thread back on.
Mm-hmm.
Around the sewing machine.
And then later, Justin will make a short version of this video where this never happens.
Yeah, an edited version.
What was wrong with the machine, Andy?
The set screw on the speed reducer slipped a little bit, so it made the belt loose.
So the speed reducer raised up where it's supposed to be, slackened the belt, and you had to hammer it back down.
Yep.
That was a pretty nifty thing he did. He stuck the handle of one hammer down onto the post that comes out of the speed reducer, and then hammered it with the other hammer, pushed it down.
Good.
So there's some leather over there for you to try. Try.
Scary thread.
No.
Thread here. I guess I could just do it without that.
Hey, she walks.
It works.
Cool. Thanks, Andy. Andy's here to save the day.
All right, let's try this again, shall we? After I rethread my thread. All right.
Striker, what kind of machine do you have? Because if it's a heavy duty one, it's probably not going to like that fabric very much.
Andy likes chicken nuggets.
Very much so.
Yeah. And potato chips.
If you'd like to pay Andy, don't pay him in cupcakes. Pay him in
Chicken nuggets.
chicken nuggets.
He likes his Nutella and pretzels too.
He's special, that Andy.
Dr. Seuss has thing 1 and thing 2, and we have Grandpa 1 and Grandpa 2. Which would be Anderson and Smith.
Yeah.
Whoo, Larry, yeah, you gotta have that vent. Those lasers with the leather. Those smells are not great.
All right. We're gonna put a little bit of glue on this too. I'm gonna glue these two halves together.
Okay.
Pinch them up so they stay. Just a little bit of glue.
And they pinch up pretty well because the leather's pretty thin. Would you wet it if you...
You can wet it. I'll probably wet it down a little bit.
Using some new Renia glue here.
Excellent stuff.
Yeah, I feel like everybody in the shop has been really taken to this one.
Yeah.
Kind of the new craze in the shop is this.
This is not the...
No,
This is Renia.
The Day Cologne.
Yeah.
Cologne de Cologne.
The top fit is also Renia.
Oh, is it?
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay. I just know I like it. So we're just gonna pull a little water, and that'll just get in the seam. I've always been told to glue before you water, because the glue doesn't stick to the leather.
This Renia, yes, is going to have a stink to it because it's a solvent-based.
Yep.
The Aqualim doesn't.
Yeah, and which one was it? Was it this one, or was it Top Fit that you can wet mold and glue at the same time?
I'd have to look back at the videos.
One of them you can glue it wet.
Yeah, no, this stuff does stink because this is still solvent based. So this what we use right here is it has an odor to it.
Yeah.
The Renia Aqualim 315 is a water based that hardly has.
This piece also needs to be bell knived along the bottom.
Okay.
So
here, do you want me to?
yeah,
Okay.
just not super thin. I think it's like 3/4 of a turn up.
Just a wee bit.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll have Andy do it.
Yeah, just have Andy do it. He'll do
Yeah, I'm not
He'll
gonna
do it. Yeah, he'll do it.
Back
Next.
to burnishing.
No, we're actually gonna.
Alright.
sew the top of this, which would be, I'm going to sew the top of this, which would be just decorative stitching up top. You don't have to sew it, but in the instructions it says to sew it. So we're going to sew it. I'm giving about a 1/4 inch seam allowance, or 1/8 inch, sorry. Ooh, that is stiff. I'm not going to do a back stitch on this because we're going to go over it again when we sew the top panel on, and that'll lock it.
Talk loud, I talk over the machine.
Alright. That's the problem.
Andy to the rescue. Second time today. His dog is so adorable. She is walking around with like an empty bag of chips in her mouth.
Yeah, I tried to get them from her and she would not.
Nope. It's just she just likes to carry things.
Yeah.
So she got just a chip bag.
She's a retriever.
She has retrieved the empty bag of chips out of the trash can, probably.
Sorry, that was loud. Alright. Trim this up.
So you got this little edge bell knife right here.
Yep.
You can skive it down if you're a super good skiver.
And it is marked in the pattern. It has that darker bit.
Skive here.
It says skive to a 1/3 thickness. And that does reference to this, not the whole piece. Me and Andy had to discuss that because it doesn't have an arrow. So, yes.
So gray section is skived.
Yes. Alright. That piece is sewn.
Striker, I'm working on a Denny update, but he has not texted me back yet. And he hasn't texted me at all since he had the surgery. Yeah.
Next piece we're going to do here. Mark out where this piece goes down here.
Okay.
That just gives me a reference for some stuff. And then we're going to line this up like that. I just put the bottom of this with that line.
Where your two little dots were?
Yep,
Okay.
and that gives me 2 dots where I can start down here and do my stitching around. So
Gotcha.
Alright. Do that.
I feel like you should have marked that on the front side.
I should have marked that on your right.
You can't see anything on the back.
You're right. I should have.
It's okay. That's why
There.
I'm here, you know.
Yeah, thank you, Liz.
No problem.
Step a little ways down. Tip.
That's going to be fun.
What, that inside corner?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Look at you go.
Sewed a few things.
That was a smooth turn right there.
Nope.
I'm surprised you didn't tool all this up.
Yeah. I could have. But
That's okay. And you didn't backstitch those because you're going to sew back into them, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Alright. These guys. And I'm using 138.
Okay. Top and bottom.
Top and bottom. Burning all that. And then we are going to yes, glue these together next. Just like that. We only glue to the top, so this line right here, which is indicated by these shoulders right here.
Okay. So we're doing this section? Like gluing? Okay.
We're gluing the flaps
Yeah.
onto the back piece.
And then these create a 2-ply for your straps to come out of?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and that's the top.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So in this situation, you're gluing grain to grain.
Grain to grain. Yep. So what we are going to do, Andy let me borrow his fancy little scuffer tool.
Which we sell.
Which we do so. Yeah, I'm just gonna go from like right there. That. And if you don't have this, I just sometimes just take a scratch all of this.
Or if you just have really low grit sandpaper, you just with some sandpaper.
Yeah.
Just take some like 80 grit or 60 grit.
Mm-hmm.
Rough it up.
All right. We want to put paper down?
Yeah.
Don't make a giant mess.
There you go.
Paper. Glue.
Whew.
It definitely has a
It definitely has a smell, guys.
Yep.
It's not odorless.
Nope.
It's a little sweet in the smell. But I don't think I'd wear it as cologne.
No?
No. Not much patchouli in that glue mixture.
That's the worst smell. I hate patchouli. I cannot.
You good?
Thanks.
You're welcome. Do it over here.
All right, new rule for all video studio. We just use Aqualum.
Yeah, Andy used Aqualum, doesn't he? Yeah.
I think I've got Denny using it.
Mm-hmm.
He'll still use Barge sometimes, but I can get him to use Aqualum.
It's still not as potent as this.
Nope, it is not. That's a good one.
Do it in some ventilated area.
We are 100% ventilated in this room. Absolutely, we are.
Yes.
We even have
Do
a
not come
skylight.
check us.
Skylight.
We even have a skylight. We have the one skylight left in the whole building.
Yep. Side.
All right. So you line up your little whoop-de-doos.
Yep. And just lay it on there. Make sure these two bits right here line up as well. We'll trim off the shoulders.
Okay.
We don't have a rolly deal, but
Oh, yeah, we do.
we have a rolly thing. Maybe.
It's in a drawer. You put it in a drawer because you threw it off the shelf.
Yeah, I did throw it on the shelf on Wednesday and made a big kerfunk.
Okay, there was content made out of it. Good content. Let me take forgiveness.
Just like that.
Okay.
And trim up these shoulders here.
You. Yeah, it's always best to have things maybe like a little bit oversized when you're gluing up individual parts, because then you can trim and you get a really nice edge. Take it to the sander.
Yeah, like this part, I would normally take it to the sander.
Yeah, but we're not going to sand in here because we tried that one day and it was terrible.
Terrible.
Yeah,
I'll
so
bet.
we don't do that anymore.
Did it have a vacuum on it?
No, it was
Well,
just
that's
right here on
why.
the table, and then it just was whoosh, and then my coffee got filled up.
We would hold the vacuum right there.
So we just don't sand in here,
But we glue.
but we glue.
That's good enough. Alright. Now, next thing, we are going to sew the bottom bit, this bit right here.
Okay.
And that's just layers upon layers. And then there's my little marks. I still have my little marks right here, right here. I'll just go a little past them once again.
We're sewing up this little bottom section because we're not going to be able to get to it.
Nope. A little way.
You don't think you could go the whole thing?
I could, but I also have to sew this piece on
Okay.
down here, and it just gets in the way.
That is true.
It just
No, you're good.
extra.
You go.
And the walker foot would get in the way too.
If you were hand sewing it, you could 100% do
Yes.
this whole stitch together.
Yes.
Yeah. So with a machine, it gets a little bit more difficult. If you're hand sewing, I would just go ahead and sew the front piece on and then sew up the whole thing at once.
Yes.
Oh, Garrett and Stryker, you're really bumming me out here with your conversation. You're getting to some serious talk.
Here, I'm going to remark out my slot punch holes down here as well. Because I did that on the top grain.
No, I know the world is not sunshine and rainbows, but that's rough.
Pretty deep.
You're getting
Actually, it wasn't deep at all. Right on the surface.
okay.
This guy again. Because I feel like it.
And is that the stitch?
That's the stitch line for this guy. And this does get sewn on like this, and then
Right.
it's folded up.
Okay.
And then I'm also going to mark my stitch line here.
You're gonna go like halfway into your Skype section?
Yeah. 1/8 of an inch or so. Not that far.
About
It has it on a pattern. Halfway in, technically. If you want to get technical about it. And then, once again, I don't glue it because I can just hold it there and it's good. Oh, that's the wrong way. This way. Goes on this way.
He's going to hold it there, and that's good.
Ooh, yeah, right about there. And we will back stitch this one. Just make sure it's nice and square.
Striker, that would be awesome. You can be our Marvin 2.0 that comes from across the country to share your wisdom with everybody. Didn't he say hello a couple weeks back?
He usually watches them after they're live, so he'll make comments in the comments.
It looks like Striker and Garrett have some life they could relive together.
Maybe they could plan a trip together and come here at the same time.
And did you make sure to go over the edge of that piece?
Yes.
He tacked it down. Very nice.
Yep. It's a little offset. We don't talk about that.
We're not going to talk about it. You don't talk about Fight Club.
I just watched that the other day.
For the first time?
No.
Okay. I mean, it would be okay if you did. You're still a baby, so.
Yeah. That's the second time I watched it.
First time was the night before.
Yeah. Trim.
All right.
It's a little tricky.
Oh, hey.
part. What?
You
Yes.
should totally set the
snaps
the
first.
snaps before you fold that in.
Well, okay.
Or-
So setting the snaps on this part varies on your mag length.
Oh.
So you could set the snaps on this, but it's the same either.
So when
before
do you
or
set
after.
these snaps?
After it's together, you can get your mags in there and get your length.
And
That's-
then you just set them on the mag?
No, I put a little block of wood or something in there.
Okay.
Yeah, just
So you're not going to set that now?
no. And I wouldn't even set these yet because whenever this is up, you can stick your mag in there and they'll punch your hole in here and then bring it over, and then you can mark your hole through your hole.
Where you want?
Yes,
Okay.
I'll explain.
Sounds
after we get
good.
it together. Now the tricky parts.
Everyone younger than me, Striker. If I'm a decade older than them, they're a baby.
All right. This is always the tricky part.
So what's the trick to it?
Forcing it in place.
You pinch it in?
Yeah.
Okay.
So on this side, I have to run it from top to bottom. So I have to make sure that stays in place, and then get where I want to start it up top.
Are you going to
And
glue
hold
this?
it there. No.
No. Okay.
I don't use it with water glue. So I'm just going to hold it there, make sure it lines up, and I'm making sure the bottom of this lines up with the stitch line that I used to sew the bottom of it on.
Okay. So this is a bit of a finger fight.
Yes. We're going to use our edge guide for this one too.
Thanks, Garrett. I appreciate you. Striker, you think? I mean, I don't know. That's actually really nice on that one. You just tack the top up.
Yeah, and it holds it.
And then you're good. You just have to readjust the side as you go.
Yep. And make sure your edges are smooth. down here before because you line this up with this. And your stitch line is pretty close to the edge.
Gotcha. And especially you're using a roller edge guide, so you want to...
Make sure it's...
Yeah, so make sure you trim that after you glue the two pieces together. You want to make sure you trim it so that you've got a good side.
And this is why you can't go all the way around because your walker foot
Mm-hmm.
would contact this piece of leather right here. You
Yep.
won't be able to get it past that.
Things you have to worry about when you have a machine.
Yeah.
Garrett knows how old I am. Stryker, we're not too far apart, frankly.
I have a friend named Garrett.
Shove that in place.
I mean, you're smack dab between me and Tony, so... Is it easier to sew this side?
It's about the same.
Okay.
I guess it depends who you are.
All right. Number 4. Anthony.
Sorry.
Thanks.
Burn our threads.
Garrett isn't Tony old. That's okay. None of us are Spencer Young, so it's a shame.
Yeah. All right. Now we do slot punches. 1-inch slot punch. So you can do it on the granite.
Like you're like you got a corner there.
I got
you
a
can
corner.
do it. Yeah.
I got enough room. Oh, hammer's way over there.
Got a good old weighted rawhide mallet.
Big old mallet. And then I just line up the corners.
Nope.
We're looking at the mallet.
Well,
You just go.
it's a pretty nice mallet, ain't it? We good?
Yeah, you're good.
All right. Voila.
See, I told you.
Came and hit it with me earlier. Hey,
She does not like that. All right. Top one.
I bet Spencer does know how to drain some blood. I think he's done that a few times in his life.
Drain blood from what?
All the critters you kill.
Well, yeah, that happens when you shoot them. All right.
Luna's over here licking his boots earlier, and
Yeah.
he's like, "Yeah, probably some deer blood on there."
Probably. We're gonna take our punch for our snaps. We're gonna punch these holes.
It seemed really far to the
What?
corner, but maybe it's not.
No, that's where the pattern says to put it.
No.
So I'm gonna put it there. You can put them wherever you want. That's where it says.
Lucy's gonna redesign the pattern for how she likes it.
Yep. All right. So now is the time you wet mold it
Okay.
to whatever you want.
Do you have something to mold it?
Nope. I'm just gonna rough it.
Okay, he's gonna rough it in. If you got your mags, you put them in a
Put 'em in
plastic
there.
bag or saran wrap them and then shove them in there.
Yep. So I'm just gonna make sure all our corners are square. It's like that.
Yeah, but this, I mean, unless they're going to be really tight, and you really need to stretch that leather out a little bit.
Yeah, this should be fine.
Yeah.
Then he may have some blocks of wood at the desk.
Maybe.
But we're not going to worry about that right now.
We're here.
Garrett says he wish he would have got started with leather when he was Spencer Young. He would have been much.
All right.
Tessa, we're the same age. We're exactly the same age.
Yeah.
Look at us. You're part of the 33 club here at Spring. We have a club here at Springfield because there's a bunch of us that are 33.
Mm-hmm.
But Spencer is not.
Nope. But will be in like 12 years.
I know. You're so cute. All right.
Yeah.
So how are we gonna?
So I don't have a block of wood.
That's okay.
I bet Denny has some on his desk.
If you have a block of wood,
If you have a block of wood or a piece of poundo or something, what I do is you would put your mag in there, bring your flap down
to wherever it needs to
to
be,
wherever it needs to be to make it tight, and then I would take this
punch a hole.
and this mark a hole, and then you have your mark where you need exactly where to punch your hole.
Okay.
So
Put your block of wood in there, punch it.
set your snaps.
Yep.
And you're good to go. And then after this, you bevel burnish your remainder edges down here and right here. I already burnished this guy and kind of did that guy. But yeah, and that's pretty much
There's
it.
your mag case. That's pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're hand sewing, and you're machine sewing, you can just do this stitch all at once.
Yeah.
So you don't have to worry. You sew this down, and then you can just do the whole thing. So you don't have to worry about doing this beforehand if you're hand stitching.
Yeah.
But otherwise, that's pretty straightforward.
Yep. And then you would glue your lining on and trim your lining before you did this stitch.
Oh yeah.
Which was before we sewed it on.
Way back in the beginning of time.
Yeah, before you sew it onto the back piece, you put your lining in, trim it, sew it, burnish it, then sew it onto the back piece.
Yep. Alrighty. Well, that is how you build the mag case.
Yep.
For the shoulder holster pattern.
It takes about 1 hour.
About 1 hour. It doesn't take that
Like
long.
literally, he cut the whole thing.
I did.
You did all
Did
of
the
it.
whole thing.
If you wanted to tool it, you could do that too. It'd add a little bit of time.
Yeah. I mean, there ain't a whole lot of real estate.
And you know what? It probably
to
wouldn't have
but-
taken that long if the machine hadn't have failed. So,
Yeah, 45 minutes.
45-minute mag holster.
Yep.
All right. Well, that's the show. I
Yep.
guess next week we're gonna make an apron or something. We'll see.
We'll see.
What we're gonna do Friday? You had a Friday plan.
It is Friday.
Next Friday.
Oh, then we're going to cook
Oh,
in our apron.
we're gonna cook in our
We're gonna
apron.
cook in 'em.
got it.
Or we can just bring Chris's knife making stuff in here and we can make a knife.
Yeah, that's not really mobile.
All right, we're going to Liz's house on Friday.
Yeah, not
SLC
bad.
on the road to the other side of Springfield.
Alrighty, guys. Well, thanks for joining us. I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and we'll see you next week.
We're going to hang on Twitch. See you there.
Bye.